Let's get real for a moment. There are many videos right now circulating in social media, all stemming with Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z, all with their frustrations lying within wealth creation and money issues. Additionally, retirement seems like a complete myth to them. So let's talk about it for a moment. But before we begin, understand that this conversation is not based on inflation, the wealth gap, or whether or not wealth or wages are keeping up with current inflation. More or less, it should be focused on a spending issue that I see stemming from all of these generations. And how do we know it's a spending issue? Well, if you look at the credit card debts currently, millennials are racking up almost $3.8 trillion at the end of 2022 in credit card debts. So, is it more or less an income issue, or is it becoming, quite frankly, a spending issue? So perhaps you're probably asking yourself, well, how are they putting themselves in these precarious situations with all this debt? Well, typically it's threefold, and the three items that I have picked up on primarily as a professional that are putting people in financial harm is typically in their housing, their consumer spending, as well as their transportation needs. Awesome view, right? As a real estate professional of over 13 years in the Arizona market, I can't tell you the countless amount of times I have seen young people renting properties like this that are way outside of their means. And what I mean by is, your take-home pay on a monthly gross basis should be 30% or less for your housing. I see people going well north of 50% of their monthly budgets to get views like this for their housing. Whereas they could be renting something simple that gets the job done, keeping them below that 30% threshold in their housing budget, to which then they can put from savings to investments to grow their wealth quicker. And like clockwork, every morning when I grab my cup of coffee, I like to go to a Starbucks near my son's school. I grab a simple cup of Joe for $2.86, but every single day that line is packed and the waiting line is always there, and it's full of younger folks all buying $5 to $7 drinks almost on a daily basis because I see the same faces day in and day out. And I ask myself, what are these habits doing to their wealth production? Because most of them are in entry-level jobs and they're spending $5 for coffee, $7 for breakfast, then they go out for lunch, on and on and on. Again, is it an income issue or is it a spending issue? For me, when I was young, I was in the military, I packed a lunch every day. Saved me a ton of money, that's how I got my start. But funny enough, when I go to that Starbucks near my son's school, you know what I also noticed that's always in the drive-thru? Yep, you guessed it. Bunch of entry-level luxury cars from Mercedes, Audi to BMW, all with young people driving them with $700 plus car payments. And we all know you can get a late model Japanese ship box that can go 200,000 miles and probably a car payment of less than $300 a month. Income or spending, y'all tell me.